But there's a good chance that we might get some people in the back mixing it up with them.
Yeah, it is, and it's tough because you can be in the rear and you can pace yourself, and you can be in the front. You can get run over. Somebody misses their brakes, or you have an accordion, so that makes it difficult. But there's some common names and frequent flyers up front, and to start, it'll be really cool to see those guys take off and see what they do. And compare the different racing lines. I mean, we're going to have guys that are trying to diamond the corner. We're going to have guys that are coming in half a groove or half a truck up and coming off that corner as they run over that curbing. We're also going to see guys that catch that curbing on their way off and come out loose out of the corner. And guarantee you that's going to be the source of a couple of yellows tonight.
So if you're in Vegas right now, place your bets. A couple yellows will be caused by that yellow curbing you see down there at the bottom of the track right now. Also interesting will be the possibility of green flag pit stops. With this being a short track, the potential to go a lap down is definitely there and almost certain when you're pitting under green. And that causes a little bit of chaos as you see your position drop toward the back. And then you want to try and make up as many positions as possible once you're back on those fresh tires. So it'll be interesting to see, as Josh had mentioned, with the track being not hot, but definitely not cool, how these tires play a factor and if tire strategy becomes something we see later in the race.
That's correct. And watch that groove as that groove rubbers in. We're going to start to see stuff like that where guys take on different strategies. But the pit road will be interesting, and it's a mind game too because you're running right against that front stretch, just a wall to separate you. And you see all those guys flying by you on the outside, and your foot goes a little further, and all of a sudden you get dinged for speeding on pit road. So patience again, a key, and it will be interesting because it's a small pit road. It's thin. There are two official lanes on pit road. You can fit about 3 trucks wide before you start running into the pits, and it's going to be tight. Yellow flag guys are going to be bumping. There's going to be some 4Xs. There's going to be some hurt feelings on pit road, and we're going to bring it all to you this evening.
So we're going to get ready to kick it on off here at Martinsville. But first, we're going to turn it over to a quick word from our sponsor. This one's brought to you by Blaze Pizza. If you haven't already, go check them on out. And I'll turn it on over to Mr. LeBron James.
Wait. Oh my God.
Oh, hello. Hi, how are you? All right. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? All right, I'm Ron. Oh, what's going on? How you doing, sir? How you doing? I'm Ron. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Oh my God.
Oh, hello. Hi, how are you? How you doing? Oh, my God. I'm Ron. Nice to meet you. Blaze right now is offering a large shareable pizza here with real ingredients. Not frozen. None of that frozen crust, all right? Right. So I want to show you some beautiful, unique toppings that we have. Artichoke, arugula. Wow. You like that type of stuff? That's for you, all right? Oh, no, I'm Ron. I don't know who LeBron is. Me and you take a selfie. Come on in. Hey, that's Ron. You tell your friends, take you to Blaze Pizza and tell them Ron sent you, okay? All right, put it there. I got it. You ever take Ron's hat? That's yours.
Oh my God.
All right, and we are back here live looking at Martinsville. Minute left in qualifying. So let's take a look at the standings really fast, as they should stand for the rest of the race. We got Rabiati looking like he is going to take the pole. Aaron Mulroney Jr. in second. Chase Bonzer in third. And Dylan Alt in fourth. Derek Winter will be in fifth. Dominic Howe in sixth. And Ryan Libby will be in seventh. We'll take a peek at the rest of these guys as we get closer to gridding. And we are getting ready to go here at Martinsville.
Yeah, that's correct. Got about 30 seconds left. They're getting in their cars, getting suited up. Probably all taking their final bathroom breaks and Cheez-It munchies. And we're going to go green, turn them loose here. This is a half-mile track, so I think it'll be 2 pace laps before we send them on their way.
So a quick look at the unofficial qualifying results. A lot of these guys are pretty close. You see back to 10th with Josh Zentek is only 3/10 back. We move on back to 20th, and they're only 7/10 back. So we are going to have a really clustered field here I say. And again, it's gonna be the battle of the fittest, and we'll see how short track racing pans out. Could be bad, could be great. We will find out soon.
That is correct, and there's really nowhere to hide. Some strategies include, hanging at the back and being patient, but get you patient on this half-mile track, and we got enough trucks. The leaders will be with you shortly, so yeah, you can't hide. I think the best place is to be right up front, and if you're not, buckle up.
So there we go, getting our first peek at the field here. You see the 12 Toyota Tundra of Robbie Adi out there on the front row. And we've seen Adi quite a bit up toward the front. Like we mentioned, he ran toward the front for a long time that first race. Ended up getting put in the wall. And then we also saw him win. I believe that was last week.
That's correct. That was last week. Adi brought home a pretty solid win, and it was not hard at all. I think even the rest of the guys agree that he was the guy to beat. That was at Auto Club, and this will be fun going into this race. The points leader, Mulrooney Jr., is going to start on the outside of the front row, part of the Proximity Gaming crew, and they have been strong, especially in the Truck Series all season long. We'll keep an eye on him.
Alrighty, so let's run through our front row and on through our grid here. On the pole is Robbie Adi in the 12 machine. Next to him is going to be Aaron Mulrooney Jr. In row 2, starting third is going to be Chase Bonzer. And in fourth on his outside is Dylan Alt. Fifth is going to be Derek Winter. In sixth is going to be the 30 machine of Dominic Howe. Seventh is a name we have not called a lot, but he's looking for a good finish in the Norse Force Invader Series. That's Ryan Libby. John Houston's behind him. Heading on back to row number 5 is John Robert Masterson starting 9th. You always got to watch out for those 3 name people. And Josh Zentek will be starting 10th. Behind him, Michael DiMaggio is in 11th. Robert Milliken in the 18 is 12th. Tyler Davis will start 13th. And Alex Vasilio is going to start 14th. 15th is going to be Chris Kynes. 16th is going to be Skylar Carnes. 17th, Mark Stryker. 18th, Joshua Stiles. 19th, Justin Walters. And 20th, Andrew Rattel. 19th, William Downham. 20th, Samuel Williams. And the rest of your field. So here we go. The pace lights are out. And we're quickly going to be under green here for the Martinsville 80 with the Norse Force Invader Series. And we're getting ready to go green here. One more lap around the paperclip. We're going to have a fantastic race on tap for you. With my co-host Joshua Crane, the field heads in 3. The pace car is off, and we are getting ready to go green. Adi leading under the green flag, and here we go. We are off. It's the Martinsville 80, brought to you by the Norse Force Invader Series. Adi takes the field down into turn 1. 2x2 is ahead into 1. Adi looks like he's going to get the lead. Mulrooney Jr. in the 2 truck out, and the 81 right behind him. They'll all be single file. Back behind the field, still 2x2 by a lot of those guys. Adi's looking to stretch the lead.
And they're going in, and it's tight in the back. They're getting themselves all sorted out. We talked about being in the center, and it's not easy. Still double wide through those concrete inlays, and a lot of shuffling, and a few bumpers getting crumpled.
Adi continuing to pull away. Will we see another race being dominated by him, or will the rest of the field seemingly pick it up as we go on? The top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are single filed and out, and we've got a race in the back. Still 2x2 back there.
That is correct, and that was bottled up. John Robert Masterson got a little bit loose going into turn 3 there, I believe it was. And, boy, about 5 cars behind him checked up, and there was some wheeling going on, so those guys could stay green. Excellent job by the field there.
Adi
They're still
continuing
doing
to
it.
pull away here.
The 32 truck gets pushed high, and that is the Masterson truck again. A little bit of a tough start for Masterson of this run.
We get back to the 32 after just getting pushed high. Oh! 45 is wrecking. There's a pile up back there in 2.
And they're stopped in 2. They're still wrecking. Spotters calling out straight ahead. And these guys are getting stopped, and it looks like they're underway now. But we'll have to check that replay out. Boy, that was tough because, again, you're already too wide, and somebody has turned perpendicular to the racing line, and all of a sudden there is nowhere to go.
So our first caution of the night is going to come out on lap 7, and it is a good gaggle of trucks that are collected. In that wreck, we saw Robert Milliken in the 18 get collected.
Yeah, and I'll let you call that one out, Jay, but I think that the Spin-E had some help in that ordeal. They were trying to get into the turn 1 together.
So look right there, the 45 truck gets turned around, and it is just a pile up in turn 2. 18 gets collected to 77, and it is just a blockade in between 1 and 2 after that. And that's what you're going to get at Martinsville. Like Josh had mentioned earlier, the trucks, you're going to try and run them tight, and you're going to be able to, but you run that risk of that happening. Cars diving it low.
That's correct, and it hurts because you spend all week, you think about what you want to do, and you kind of prepare. You get a little bit excited for it, and then it's lap 5, and now you're in the garage. You got 10 minutes of optionals, and your steering wheel's turned upside down, and it just hurts.
There we go, the field getting all sorted out. We see the Proximity Gaming guys back up front once again. Right behind Robbiotti, you got the 2 truck of Mulroney Jr. and the 42 of Dylan Alt and the 81 of Chase Bonzer. We've seen them really dominate as a team. And you got to wonder what kind of equipment they're using and if the rest of the field is going to be able to contend with that equipment, or are they just going to have to make do? And the short track really brings it to them. Speed is less of a factor as it was at Atlanta, less of a factor than it was at Texas. So we might be able to see some of those lesser teams come and make a run for it at the front.
Well, that is correct. And I mean, you can look, I'm looking at the front of Dylan All, and he's got a little tweak on his front bumper. The 5th place, Dominic Howe, has a maybe a little bigger tweak on the front of that GMS Fabrication Tundra. So already these guys are starting to massage that sheet metal, and that'll do everything, slow them down in the best case, but that may affect how your toe sits, how your truck bites in that corner. And these are fixed setup races, so these guys don't have a lot of knobs to turn to begin with, so that's going to make it hard.
So we go, all the trucks trying to get it figured out. The bonus of the damage, though, is that it's not going to slow you down quite that much, hopefully, throughout the race. Light's still on the pace car, so we still are under caution. Thank you for the sub, DQ44. He says, the dream team in the broadcast booth. We're trying to give you a race right now. Not sure.
Don't read this and disrupt the broadcast, but
we are back under green. I am a little delayed there. Sorry about that. And Adi is taken off, and the front 4 are single file already as we head back under green.
Adi has set sail in the 81 truck, has had a little bit of a struggle to get start. That's Chase Bonzer, who's given up a couple positions at the start and is trying not to give up one more to the 9 truck. And looks like he's going to hold this off into turn 1, but not a great start for the 81, that restart.
So back under green after that caution. Field's seeming like they're going to even it on out a little bit, but as we get the trucks back underneath each other, you got to imagine that some trucks toward the back are really going to want to push back toward the front, seeing the field start to pull away and not wanting to go a lap down.
Well, that is correct.
Caution is out. Something off of 2.
But, you see in your rear view that the leaders are coming up, and it's going to be hard to stay on the lucky dog. That's the first car 1 lap down. And we've already got 3 cars 1 lap down here and a car 7 laps down. So You see the leaders coming, you try to go a little bit faster, and then we start to see these wrecks right in front of the leader, and that's how they happen.
So you saw a bit of the wreck right there. We take one more look at it here. The 2 truck gets a little help, and then the 42 just ends up losing it right in front of the 30. Able to hang on and not collect anybody except Dominic Howe in the 30. Keeps it off the wall, but you see that front fender kind of bent in a little bit. You gotta wonder how that's gonna perform. And you also gotta worry about watching your temperatures there, as you might get some kind of radiator leakage or radiator incident hitting the front of that truck like that.
Well, that is true. These are just aluminum radiators, and they're soft, and it doesn't take much to ruin your day on that front. But what stood out to me on that one was 2 teammates were those 2 trucks getting together, the proximity boys. So, that'll be an awkward Monday morning meeting and the competition side of things for those guys.
So race off of pit road, it does appear that Justin Walters is going to take over the race lead for the moment. And he's still on pit road, so my mistake. Robbie Oddie is going to re-inherit the lead. Off of pit road, Mulroney Jr. is going to be in second. Libby is going to be third, and Alt will be fourth.
Yeah, Libby was a name that we found at the beginning of the race and didn't know quite what to expect, but he's up there in fourth and benefiting from running a clean race.
So you see the 12 Napa truck right at the front of the field. Looking like a clean truck so far. Got a couple lap cars in front of them that look like they are electing to take the wave around. But you really can't fault them. It's still early in this race. Your tires haven't quite burned off quite yet, so you might as well get back on the lead lap and get back to the action.
Yeah, I think that's an approved move. Martinsville is a tire track that's going to wear out pretty gradually. You're not going to fall off like you would at Dover, maybe Daytona. So yeah, I mean, stay out, get the lap back, and we'll see how they shake out here. Still a number of cars lap down. The wave around doesn't occur until the last. In fact, looks like they just got it. The lights are out of the pace car, and we are coming down the back stretch right now.
There we go. Lights out on the pace car. The wave around trucks cruising around the track in the field 2x2 as they head into 3, coming back to the green flag. Adi riding the 2 truck really high and then swings it on down and takes off, taking the green flag, and the 2 truck is left in the dust.
Well, we saw a little bit of gamesmanship there. You want to come off these corners as straight as you can, and the 12 kind of pushed him up and then came off the corner quite straight. And he's the leader. He knows when he's going to go, and the outside guy did not have much of a choice. But he is going to get to the bumper here, and the 2 put a little bit of scare on Adi.
Good run by Mulroney coming out of 4 right there, as you just saw. Let's see if he's going to run it down deep into 1 and 2. Can't quite get the bumper of Adi just yet. Adi looks like he makes a little contact with the wall right there, as he's all over the bumper with Mulroney. You see Adi trying to diamond the corner a little bit. You see that because Mulroney's catching him in the middle, and then Adi gets the run off and pulls away.
Yeah, it is, and I'm looking at the 3rd place truck. That's the Milwaukee machine of Ryan Libby again. I've been talking about him more and more, and these guys are coming in high. He's going to follow their line that time, and they are going to get right down on that curb. Don't get too close, and they're going to come up. Really good racing going on front 3, and now front 4 as the 42 gets pretty close to the 23. More proximity gaming, and those guys do not give up.
No, they don't. They're running in the top 5, and they most likely will continue to most of this race. We'll see how they work together. We mentioned the wreck earlier was caused by a couple of teammates feuding, but we're going to see if they can work together and take down Adi. But Libby's also going to make a bit of a run for it. The 23 machine, you see him in the Milwaukee Toyota making a run for it. And here comes lap traffic.
Yeah, this is going to be the hard part. And a smart second-place car, Mulroney here, he's going to be looking. And right there, close. The Reese's truck is going to hold him up on the outside. Can't get up to the wall soon enough. And looks like the front 4 will squeeze by politely, but not before a little bit of a spook. It is Spooktober, so let's get it out of our system now. It is important to get by these lap trucks cleanly because this is where the lead can change hands.
So the chat is saying Adi is the New England Patriots of this racing league, and I could not agree with that assessment more. Adi has been running the front for all of the season, and it's just been the Adi show, really. As you see him continuing to just push and push, coming up on another lapped car.
He is. In fact, he's coming up on another Napa car, and I'm pretty sure that he rolled that truck back on the trailer at Auto Club and pulled it off here today because he has not missed a beat, and we're looking at the 23 now challenging for second place. You have to wonder if the 2 truck of Mulrooney has used up his tires, if he's letting them cool down, and what's going through his mind.
So starting to really stack up for second place right there, giving Adi a bit of a chance to start to pull away. As you see the Napa truck giving room to his sponsor partner right there. And the 2 trucks going to have to pull in behind him. That's going to give Adi a bit of a shot to put a bit of a distance between him and the second place truck.
Yeah,
3 wide coming off of 2.
Exactly. We're going to get 3 wide, and the 42 is right behind the 23. Libby is got one eye in the mirror and one eye out the windshield as he tries to get through this traffic. And looks like the 29 is going to grab the ball, and that's going to help those guys get by. And it is very fragile through here.
Lap 30 out of 150, so a very long race to go. As there's a bit of action back there. The Proximity Gaming truck, I believe that is Chase Bonzer back there, mixing it up with John Houston in the 042 truck. And he's going to get by Zentek in the 8. I apologize. It was actually him and Zentek mixing it up. He's going to make the pass on the low side. Truck high into the wall back there. That's the lap truck. Not quite sure who that was. We continue to race on here.
Yeah, there's a lot of trading of taps here. The 32, that's Masterson, just got into the 9, Derek Winter. And there's a gap between them now. There did not used to be. He gave him a pretty good shot. He's going to receive a shot now from the 7 truck. That's Michael DiMaggio, also running Proximity Gaming Speed.
So we take a look at the 7 coming off of 2 now. Good run right here. He's going to look to do something with it coming into 3 and 4. Trying to dive it low below the 32. He's thinking about it, but can't quite do anything with it. The 32 just using up most of the track right there. That's John Robert Masterson in the 32 truck, giving him all he can handle.
Yeah, it is, and he's working on him, but it is hard, especially these trucks with damage. You don't know if they're pushing tight, if they're loose off. Looks like the 7 got in a little bit hard, had to slide up the turn. Now he's going to give up several truck lengths. And that is the game you play as you try to get around these guys. It is not always easy to pass at Martinsville. Now he's going to grab the curb, and we talked about that's going to slow him down, and you're going to have to lift whenever you do that.
There we go, continuing.
And we got trouble sideways, the Napa truck, the 32 truck, and the caution is out, and that is Chris Kynes, I'm sorry, the 29 truck, and he did it on his own, it looks like. We'll go to the replay soon enough, but I apologize. He may have gotten some help. I think his spotter may have missed a low call there. And,
so we're here riding along with the 29 here. He gets up in the wall there. The 8 tries to dive it low on him. It looks like he gets loose, comes down on the 8, and then gets turned into the inside retaining wall. Let's take a look at that one more time from the onboard camera. Nope, so maybe not. There we are. All right, you're riding along with the 29 right here. Just drives it in a little too much right there. Gets loose. Just gets sent around. Didn't hit the wall very hard, so that might pay off for him. We'll see.
Yeah, and that's so tough when you're going to the corner again. He's got that brake bias back, trying to turn, and he goes in, and he was already a little bit sideways, and then slid down the track. That's what you're trying to do if you're sideways and you feel like it's going to hook up. If you give it too much right wheel, it'll snap and turn right into the fence. He doesn't want that, so he's got to let it go down the track a little bit, and unfortunately he didn't have that room.
So we go, all the trucks coming down pit lane. We'll see if anyone can take the lead from Adi, maybe with some pit strategy here. Adi going to be that last stall on pit lane. Mulroney Jr. There's all the Proximity Gaming boys all lined up right there. Let's see if anyone dares take 2 or if they're going to stick with 4 tires here. Looks like all the trucks taking 4. Race off of pit road. Little contact right there between the 32 and the 43 coming off pit road. Like Josh had mentioned earlier in the broadcast, it is a very tight pit road. So as guys come out of their box, you do got to be careful. Rely on your spotter a lot right there in that situation. So up at the front, we see Mark Stryker in the 77. Looks like he's going to take the wave around. And that is the 45. Also coming off. We're back live here.
Lights are off on the pace car, and we're going to get ready to go. The 12 and the 2 already getting themselves situated here. We're going to take another high restart. The 12 is going to do the same thing, I think. There he goes. And he's going to leave the 2 car way behind, and we're going to go back green. And the 42, Dylan Alt, a little bit loose off of 4. They're going to dive into turn 1, and we're going to do it single file, get back through about 4.
Here we go, heading down the back straight. Single file through the first top 5. Truck slow on the apron back there. Looked like a lap truck. Some kind of problem. Could be a technical problem with him. But Robbie Adi continues to pull away.
Yeah, we go a little bit further back, and we're back under yellow. We're back under yellow.
How you doing, bud?
And we got to find out the source. But this has been a tough race. We expected this. Sometimes these races will start with a lot of cautions early. Guys are a little bit nervous, getting themselves situated. You know, then you got to rack them and stack them a couple times before everybody finds their groove. Then you got to start thinking about a longer run, maybe green flag pit stops.
So we're riding along with the 22 of Joshua Schofield here. You see he comes off of pit road with the leaders. Not quite sure what happens here. He's slowing it back down.
Yeah, and I think he just fell below the minimum speed for iRacing because he is entering the racing line right here and he's waiting for guys to go, and he inadvertently brings out that caution. You know, as they say, he's a little confused, but he got the spirit.
So an interesting caution right there, but nonetheless a caution. And that is going to be our 3rd caution of the race. 4th caution, I'm sorry. As we have entered our 16th lap of caution. 106 laps remaining as we hit the line here. We've only had 2 lead changes as Adi has dominated really most of this race. And the Proximity Gaming boys trying to stay up with him.
Yeah, he has, and it is. If you're in the lead and you can get that restart, we're doing a lot of short runs. And even if the guys in back are faster, it's going to take them a couple laps to close that initial gap because of the restarts that this 12 truck's getting. And, you know, if you have enough short runs, yeah, it's going to be kind of lopsided like this. So we'll see what happens. I do think that over 80 laps, these guys will get themselves figured out. 80 miles for 150 laps. So we will be here for a little while getting these guys sorted out.
Almost a third of the way through the race, and so far what we've seen is much of what we've seen throughout the season. Adi dominating and the Proximity Gaming team chasing right behind him. Some names that I'm surprised we have not called today. Dominic Howe in the 30 truck. He was running toward the front earlier and was involved in a bit of a wreck. He has been running strong for much of this season. And also, right back there, Josh Zentek. He's holding back in 7th. We saw him challenge last week. And there's a good chance he comes back toward the front at some point later today.
No, that is correct. And just to the outside of him, maybe in the row ahead, is Chase Bonzer in that proximity racing truck, and he's also been putting up a fight. We've been focusing on the top 3, but the positions 2, 4, and 6 on the outside line, those are all proximity guys. So let's see what they do here as we come out of turn 4.
Stacking it back up. You see Adi going high again. Let's see if the 23 can stay in his bumper here. The 2 gets a pretty good run out of here, but the 23 once again looks like he might take second heading into 1.
He does, and the 23 has to give him room. We're back under yellow. I'm sorry, the Yamal Rooney in the 2 truck has to give him room, and we didn't make it very far at all. Let's see what we learned on that yellow.
I believe it was back in the pack. We're looking back in the pack, and the 47 turns to the 92 and just gets backed on up, coming to green. One more look at that here as we're going to ride along with Skylar Carnes here, if we can. So there we go. You see him coming to the green flag here. The leaders are off at this point. The 92 just doesn't get a good jump, and he just gets into him, turns him around, and that is going to put us back under caution.
Yeah, and that's stressful, and I wonder if he missed a shift. It looks like he may have grabbed 4th instead of the gear he was trying to go to.
So quite possible into the high-stress situation of a Martinsville restart. It does add an interesting element starting in a corner as opposed to one of the bigger 1.5 and 2 mile ovals where you're starting on a straightaway with the rest of the trucks also pointing straight.
It does, and that's part of it. If you're starting in the back and you're going to green, I mean, you may be back, I don't know, like, half a lap on the leaders just from starting in the back.
So we're riding along with Adi right here on a pace lap. And you can see these trucks, the front ends starting to get beat and banged a little bit. And you can really
Great
use the
duo
bumper
commentary.
because these trucks aren't as aero sensitive at Martinsville. They will be a little bit in this dirty air that we're going to get. As you've seen, it's easy to catch Adi, but it's hard to pass him. And that's also a credit to his racing style as well.
Yeah, that's correct. It's going to be hard to pass at Martinsville. You got to get a nose under going into the turn and hope the guy in front of you gets a clear call. Otherwise, you'll be in the same position we saw that other caution earlier, where he was, I think it was the 8 truck, got in there a little bit loose. But it's going to be tough to get around. But if somebody does get around him, it'll be tough to get him back. So it'll be exciting for the viewers here.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if someone takes a chance on 2 tires later in the race just to get in front of Adi. Because like you just mentioned, track position is so important that maybe track position is better than tires. We haven't seen anyone take that chance yet, so we don't really know. But we've had a lot of short runs so far. This is our 5th caution in 53 laps. There's a chance you can take 2 tires, run a short little run, and just hold on to that first position.
Yeah, that's a possibility. And I mean, even if you're going to gain so many positions taking 2 tires, and even if you fall back a little bit, that's all right. You still have the position. I do think that it's going to be tough. The trucks are naturally loose coming off of these turns, and taking 2 tires is going to increase that. And it'll be hard, but I think if you're driving, you're coming straight off, you may change your driving style a little bit. Let's say you're coming up and coming off the curb, you may change your driving style to do more of a diamond and come in a little bit slower and come off a little bit quicker with those 2 tires. Anything's possible.
Absolutely, and we'll see if anyone takes a chance at that. Probably not yet, but later in the race, that's definitely got to be a thought in the back of everyone's minds. So we'll see if anyone does it. Pace car is off in 3, and the 2 and the 12 are just in each other's door in 3. And the 12 just takes off. 2 truck gets a little bit loose right there, cuts down the inside line, and Adi is out to a 4 or 5
on
currently.
the back stretch. They couldn't work through the accordion, and 1 truck is around. I believe that is the 9. That is the 9 of...
That's Derek Winter right there in the 9 truck. We're riding along with him right here. Gets backed on up, and then the 042 truck has John Houston. Gets a little loose and gets into him. Sends him around. One more look at that here. Like Josh just mentioned, the trucks naturally want to get loose off the corner, and you see it right there on the restart. Spinning the tires a little bit, and that gets him loose and gets him into the 46. I'm sorry, not the 46. but another caution, and this has been a caution-filled race so far.
Yeah, it has. We're starting to get some driver chatter. They're expressing some opinions about some of these restarts, the way they're taking place, the way they're approaching that green flag. It'll be interesting to see what race control does. But these trucks are hard to control, maybe more so than a car, because there's much less weight between the center of gravity of the truck and the rear axle of the truck. And what that is going to do is going to make it looser. And just make it a little more reactive to both inputs and reactions. So you got a little tank slapper down the front stretch, and it's not as easy to grab as if you were in an Xfinity car or a Cup car.
So we're going to take this caution to give you a quick shout out from one of our sponsors. We're going to send it over to Butt Kicker.
A viewing experience so real. You're not only trackside, you're inside. Meet Butt Kicker, a simple wireless device that takes just seconds to install. Breakthrough technology that shakes your couch and rocks you without any additional volume. Experience the thrill of live racing at home. Go to shakemycouch.com right now to see a special offer for race fans. Don't just watch TV, feel it.
So BCal, what is that? That is Butt Kicker. If you go and search Butt Kicker, it is a gaming mechanism. I say mechanism. It's a piece in your seat that really adds another aspect of realism. So, for example, if you're driving iRacing, it's going to give you that feel in your butt that you would feel in the truck. Then, hence the name Butt Kicker. So, really cool piece of equipment. Feel free to check it out. And you can, I don't know if we have a promo code for that. I don't think we do, but also thank you for the 100 bits. Great duo commentary. We appreciate that. Is it constant vibration? Not 100% sure. I don't think it is, but
not a constant vibration. There's software that comes along with it. I'm also listening to some of this race chatter. There's some opinions on who was spun and who was in the clear. But no, Butt Kicker's pretty neat. I almost put it on my rig as something that would help, feel gear changes, feel collisions. I think there's like 11 or 15 different functions that you can actually tune it for, and it's a vibrational device at its base, and you tune frequency, amplitude, and you can tell, when you're shifting, upshifting, downshifting. You'll feel it kick you when you're in the gravel. It'll do a vibration. So, you set it up for what you want.
And here we go. We're going to go back green here. 12 truck running the 42 up the track. They touch doors, and the 12 is off. Back on the green here at Martinsville. 42 sticking with Adi a little bit there. He didn't get as much of a jump as he did on the 2 truck. Mulroney Jr. back there in 12th on this restart. He's going to have to battle his way back to the front, but we see Dylan Alt and Adi fighting for the lead.
They do, and the 12, I think, was discussed with on a little bit of that restart protocol. No more fancy jumps, and the 42 is right there. He was looking high, now he's looking a little bit low, and he is waiting for his time. He knows it's a restart, everybody's tires are a little bit cooler, and this is the time to make your move. And the 23 is right behind him. If anything goes wrong, he's going to pounce from third position, and we're back under yellow. Try again next time.
Back under caution. Not quite sure what for, but we saw a 3-car battle for the lead right there, as that's our first little glimpse at a challenge of Adi, and Alt and Libby were really giving it to him, and we're going to be able to see them kind of challenge as we go throughout this race.
They were, and that was good. They had a good run. I think the 7 truck of DiMaggio just took responsibility for that. Dylan Alt has also announced that he must go to the bathroom. I'm sure he is not excited for these cautions.
So quick peek at that caution right there. You saw the 7 truck grab the curb, and it was a pile up in turn 3 that we missed out on. One more look at this here as we head into the onboard camera.
Yeah, and that 7 truck didn't hold his brakes. That's one of the things that may have helped calm that down a little bit, was if he was able to hold his brakes. Yeah, you just get in that curbing, and you hit the brakes, and 2 of your 4 tires are on the ground, and it's never a good situation.
So you just see the massive pileup we have right there. 2 truck with nowhere to go. Tries to back it down and just runs into his proximity gaming teammate. And we are under another caution here at Martinsville.
Yeah, that's true. That's so tough, and you're trying to go left, and these trucks do not turn excellent when you are heavy on the brakes and you're trying to avoid stuff. And if you turn too hard one way, you run the risk of spinning out, and that's not a good way to avoid the wreck. So there's just not a lot of room to maneuver under that situation.
So a quick glance at our caution counter. We're at our 7th caution of the race for 35 caution laps out of 67 total laps. Only 2 lead changes, and that was under a pit road swap. And now we're back under caution yet again. We'll see if we get that long green flag run.
Yeah, that sure would be nice to have, and it would be cool to see what these trucks do under a run like that. How they wear, how these guys change racing. You might see guys spread out. You might see some new names move their way up to the front. They can run smart. Just got to get some room to run for those guys.
So we're gonna try. Well, lights are off with the pace car. We're not gonna try that. We're gonna get a little interview with the 8 truck right there of Zentech, but we're gonna wait our turn. I'm sure the next caution is right around the corner. The chat wants to know if this track is susceptible to cautions. Absolutely, it's a short track, so you see all the trucks bunched up together, and we are gonna get ready to go green. We'll touch on that a little more after this green flag restart. 42 staying right with the 12. Had a good jump, but he second-guessed himself. It looks like the 12 is gonna take off and get the lead in a 1, but the 42 and the 23 are gonna battle.
Yeah, 23 is going to look low, but he was smart. He knew he wasn't ready for it, and if he was, the 42 wasn't going to get a low call. Now 23's got to run, and he's going to give it a little breathing room and let the 42 try to go and work on the 12. Maybe he might let that 42 wear that 12 out and then drive by both of them later on in the run.
Ryan Libby in the 23 seems to be kind of starting to diamond the corner a little bit, and you got to wonder if that's the way to go, as he seems to be hanging with the leader's pace. And will he be able to catch Adi later? 42 right to Adi's bumpers that come out of 4.
Yeah, he is, and there's some action further back to 32 and the 19. That's Masterson, and the 19 is going to be Styles, and they are going hard together. And they are touching a little bit off 4, and they're going to run, get themselves sorted out. 19 actually going to fall back right next to Mulrooney, and he's going to try to work his way back up in that proximity gaming machine. And the 19 is now going the wrong way. The 9 truck is going to get by him. And you can see the front of the 19 truck is pretty used up. Any more damage, and he may have a modified on his hands.
So we talked earlier that you can have a bit of damage. But as we see the 19, that's Joshua Styles. He might have that too much damage, slowing the truck down. There could be some internal engine damage as well. You still do need the horsepower to get off the corner as we look back at the leaders.
That could be. You'll notice that. And Adi is continuing his dominance as he leads the proximity gaming trucks and the 23 right in the middle of them. And I think these guys are maybe settling in to a little bit of a run. The 42 looks like he's going to be a little bit slow off one corner, and he's got to make sure that 23 doesn't get an advantage, and that 23 is going to diamond the corner as the 42 hits the curb, and that 23 is right there ready to pounce.
So we're seeing a couple of different lines here. We see Alt in the 42 just riding that low line all the way around the corner, putting the tires right on that curb. But we see the 23 diamonding the corner. So for those of you that don't know what diamonding the corner is, you make a diamond out of the corner. That's pretty much what it sounds like. And he's going to get a good run off because of that. But right now, Adi's able to just hang on that low line, and his job is just make the 42 make the pass. Make him use up his stuff. You just run your race. 23 looking low on the 42. Libby grabs the corner, gets into the 42.
And he's going to run up, and he did say sorry to the 42, but he got up on that curb there. You can't do that. He did drive in about as deep as he could, and just before that, they were having a good three-way battle. I don't know if Adi was trying something different, but he did. He had his line up a little bit and was giving the 42 a couple chances to close right up on his tailgate, and had a little bit of excitement there for those three.
So you saw that second look right there. The 23 just gets excited, drives it in a little deep, and then suddenly you get loose, you hit that curbing, and the truck is just going with no way to control it, and he got up into the 42 of Alt. But everything's settled out. The 42 retains second position, and the 23 drops back to third, and Adi continues to pull away. First long green flag run we've had yet today, and it's been a good one so far. As Adi is coming up on lap traffic, we'll see how the field does with that.
He is, and he has amassed a little bit of a wrinkle on that right rear. Probably not going to affect him much, but you do have to make sure you get in a lead, you get a strong lead, a big gap, you get comfortable. Got to make sure you take care of that truck and don't get lazy. That's how accidents happen.
48 Allied truck, you see him get ridden up the track. Next in Adi's sights is the 23, looking to make
and
the
he's
move.
Going to hold him up. He's going to hold him up. 42's got a chance right here.
Here we go, Alt to the bumper of Adi. Let's see if he can stay there. Hanging on off of 2. Thinking about a move off of 3 and 4. 23 also getting by. 42 right on his bumper. Can't quite get him just yet, but he is close.
It is. I've been watching Adi these last couple laps, and he is doing an excellent job of getting off the corner. If you want to do something well, it's exit the corner because you carry that speed onto the front stretch, and he's got it down right now. The 42, I don't think, can put the power down the same. I just don't think he's seeing what the 12 is seeing right now.
So you see the 12, as he comes off the corner, he gets that curb and just sends it down the front straightaway, getting that speed, and like Josh said, carrying that speed. But the 42 seeming to make it work through the corners as he can get to the bumper of the 12, but can't quite pass him. He might need some help from the lap traffic here. The 23, oh, a little bit of bump from the 42.
It is. I think the 12 slipped and got a little bit loose right there, and that gave the 42 a chance to get back up to him. And there, the 12 is loose again. I think Adi's starting to, and everyone here, this is the first long green run we've had. Everyone's still learning what their trucks will do and what their trucks will do. And that 23 is here. He's saved his stuff, and that 23 is ready to play.
Ryan Libby, we mentioned him in the pre-race, and he is making us look great right now up in the broadcast booth. He is just giving it to the 42 of Dylan Alt. 42 loose off of 2.
He is, and the 26 didn't help anybody up in the wall there, but they're all back together. The 23's chasing that 42 again.
Adi continuing to try and hold on to this lead, but he has challengers in Alt and Libby in the 42 and the 23. Right back there is Chase Bonzer as well, and right behind him is the 8 of Zentech, getting around the 43 of Mark Lowe. Great race up at the front as the 42 gets to the bumper again.
And that 23 is going to look underneath the 42. Big moment right here. They're going to go in. The 42 is going to give it to him. And he actually intentionally just stopped, let him go. And he said, you know what? You can try your hand at Adi. I've had it for right now. So interesting move by the 42. An approved move. And we'll see what the 23 can do.
So Libby's fastest lap is actually faster than Adi right now. He's run a 19.529. Adi's is a 19.557. So we'll see if the 23 can make something of Adi.
Well, that's correct. And if you're 23, you think about, just ride behind Adi, see what you can do. I mean, Adi has to spend a little bit of his equipment running away from the 42. So if you're Libby, yeah, just go ahead, hang out. Now he's going to get a little tap from the 42. He's having to work both sides of it now.
The 23 and the 42 continuing to battle. 42 looking low, can't quite get the bumper of the 23, and they are going to stay square, heading back down into 1.
Yeah, good amount of give and take right there. It's if it was 2 to go, we might have a little different outcome there. But that 23 is trying to figure out just how deep he can drive it, and I think he's bit off a little more than he can chew.
More lap traffic in the front windshield of Adi as they drop into 1 and 2. The top 3 cars pulling away. Bonzer in the 81 right behind them.
No, that is correct, and we're starting to see this lap traffic up ahead of these guys. Just like when a little big fish comes to the ocean, all little fish got to run away, and these guys are starting to scrap for position. 48 putting a move on the 29, both trucks with a little bit of damage. Trying their best. The 18 is looking behind, so all these guys trying to stay alive.
So we're on board with Adi right now, looking out that rear bumper, and you see the battle. 42-23 just giving it to each other and also battling Adi. A wonderful race for the lead right here.
It is. I'll tell you who's got to work the most is Libby. He's got to make sure that he doesn't give the 42 anything, since this is a good opportunity to be in front there. As I say that, the 42 gets a little bit loose, but the 32 is going to give it back to him here on the middle of the corner. And now we're going to see what the 12 can do. And there's trouble up front. The 12 has trouble getting around the other Napa truck, and Libby's going to slide through and get a little tap from the 42, and Adi's going to head off the corner. No lead changes, but definitely a tense moment for the guys up front. Now the 42 is going to slide underneath. Libby on the outside.
42 trying to take the position right there. Still on the inside as they head into 1. That's Alt trying to take the position away from Libby. He's got the low line, the preferred line. Let's see if he can get a run off the corner. Libby's loose, but he's holding on to it. Looking good coming out of 2, and it looks like Alt will take the position heading into 3.
Yeah, that was, and these 3 are racing, and that means that a 4th player has entered the game. That 81 truck of Chase Bonzer has not gone anywhere, and he's bided his time. And I hate to say that he has the least damage of these 3 as the 12 car gets sideways, and now he's going to make a move on Libby.
The 81 looking low on Libby. He's going to try and take that position. Libby forced up the track with a little contact between him and the 42. 81 still on his bumper as they head into 1.
That is correct, and for once they'll be single file into turn 1. They'll scrunch up in the middle of the turn. Adi, a little bit of a tap from second place truck, and the 23 is going to go low, a block, and it looks like they'll be in there. Libby is up in the wall, in the marbles, in the wall, and that's going to put him a ways behind third place and 4th. Libby beat himself there a little bit going into turn 3.
Quick look at that on the replay. You saw the 23.
The leader is sideways, and Libby's into him. The 23 and the 12 make contact out of 4. They are parked on the track on lap 98. They get into it. And Adi is expressing his opinions and is not thrilled.
So here we go. A quick look at the replay here. Riding along with Robbie Adi right here as he heads into 1. The 42 on his bumper as they come off of 2. He gets loose, sends it around, and gets into the 23. That's Libby. Both of them who've had a great day. Unfortunately involved in a wreck on lap 99 here. I'm sorry, 98. And we return live to see Adi on pit road. That front end of the Toyota Napa truck smashed up, and he is going to take it to the garage.
That is correct. I think he's hit the garage, and Ryan Libby was running such a good race, had the cleanest truck, and has manually disconnected. And that is what we talked about at the beginning. You get into rhythm, and it does not take much to get bent out of shape.
So we've had the shakeup that we've talked about. We talked about how this race could come down to short track racing, and it looks like it has. And you got to wonder what this race has in store with 50 laps left.
Yeah, it is. You know, I'm just watching it one more time, and those trucks were about 24 inches apart, and I'm going to call net code on that one. You hate to see it decided by such a margin, but that was tough.
Definitely tough for sure. We saw Adi get loose. Wasn't sure if he was helped. As Josh said, netcode could have played a factor. And now we have had a shakeup in the front pack. 77 is going to take the wave around here. So as we shake things back up, looks like the 42 of Dylan Alt is going to take over the lead. Chase Bonzer in the 81 will be second. And John Houston, who we saw involved in an incident earlier, is now third. John Robert Masterson will be 4th, and Aaron Mulrooney Jr., after settling in the back, has now fought his way back to the top 5.
Yeah, it's a tough way to do it. And I'll tell you what, we are starting to see the leaders who were clean. They have a bit of character to their trucks now. Dylan Alt still with that front end, some marks. Looks like Chase Bonzer may have the cleanest truck. I looked at the front end. But 42, he got in to that caution earlier, and it shows on that Silverado of his.
So we were trying to catch Adi on his way to the infield care center, but it looks like he declined to comment about that. So unfortunately, we're not going to get a word from him as we stack it on up, getting ready for this next restart. Here we go. Alt 42 going to lead him to the line. Let's see if he does this high restart that we saw Adi do earlier. Does lead him up the track a little bit, and then there's 42 taking off. The 042 of John Houston also going to follow suit.
That is correct, and that proximity front row is going to be broken up by that white truck. Looks like he's going to stop mid-corner. Not sure if he had a struggle there. Mulrooney had to get slowed up quite a bit. John Houston now going to look low underneath the 81. He's going to make a hole, and that 2 truck's going to try to follow right in line.
The 42 of John Houston, we saw him earlier this race, and we're seeing him again. Trying to catch the 42 of Dylan Alt. That's going to get confusing as we get throughout this race. But Alt is just pulling away as these drivers battle for second. It's Bonzer in the 81.
That is correct, and I'll tell you what, I'm not surprised that that Dylan Alt needs to get there, because he has said for about the 3rd time he needs to pee in chat, and he is driving like it. He is gapping these guys as they continue to race, and he's got about 2/10 on the field, and this may be the biggest race we have seen, biggest lead we've seen all race.
Battle for second rages on. The 81 looking low on the 042 again. Let's see if we can get him coming out of 2. Bonzer really trying to battle. They go door to door off of 2. Caution is out as there's a big pile up back there. The 19 went around. He collects the 92 as you're looking at the replay right here. Let's take one more look at that. I believe the 19 just got loose on that one on his own. He might have had help.
Yeah, I think that's really tough. You got 2 trucks side by side, and they're touching there. They just caught doors, and it doesn't take much. We talked about it. We'll say it again probably before this race is over. It doesn't take much to get sideways, and just a little tap does it and brings all the guys behind them with them.
See a big collision right there between him and the 92. Unfortunate for the 92 with just nowhere to go. That's William Downen. Just getting collected in a wreck like that. Not much you can do at Martinsville. Not very wide track in terms of places to go when a wreck like that happens. And we'll see who takes pit road here. Looks like none of the leaders opting to go down pit road.
Yeah, these guys won't take every opportunity to pit, because they're going to have a lot of opportunities to pit coming up here. So I think they're probably saving their stuff. Track position is key. You mentioned it, and these guys are holding on to it. Yeah, it looks like we can add Andrew Rattel to the list of guys who have brought it behind the wall. I think that last incident was just too much for him.
So unfortunately, a lot of guys starting to bring it behind that pit wall, back to the garage, packing up the hauler to get ready to go. You see all those trucks on pit road trying to get repaired so they can get back out on the track. We only have 12 cars left on the 12 trucks left on the lead lap here. So it is going to provide us an interesting shootout with around 40 to go here.
Yeah, these guys are. The 30 truck is discussing, how that may have panned out, and we're still discussing opinions over race chatter and trying to figure out, who was there and who wasn't. So it's interesting. I think race control is doing a pretty good job of keeping everybody fair and informed as we go through this process. 30 was kind of curious. That's Dominic Howe, to see. Was that intentional? But race control said no, not intentional, and you even hopped up in his lane a little bit. So good officiating here. Big refreshing moment from other sports. We do have some officiating here.
All right, so we're going to try and pull Josh Zentek in here as we come to the 1 to go really fast. Josh, this is JD in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
So as we go 1 to go here, I won't take too much of your time, but give us a feel how the truck's run. It looks like we've got a couple trucks loose. How's your truck handling out there?
Yeah, some trucks are loose on new tires, and when we get into a long run, the tires wear out and we get pretty tight coming off the corner, so we got to let off a lot.
All right. Well, good luck the rest of the way, buddy, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
Green flag.
Well, you heard it there, and we're back green, and it looks like we are going to have the Proximity Gaming take off in front. It's going to be Proximity, followed by the Aaron Mulrooney truck. No, I'm sorry, that's John Houston is trying his best. He's going to take third place. That 32 truck of Masterson, we talked about him at the very top of the race, and he has earned his spot back in here as he climbs the curbing, gets up into the 2 truck a little bit. These guys are shaking and baking all the way through the top 10.
3 wide going into 3 right there. That was the
They are.
Zentech who we just talked to, John Robert
32
Masterson.
truck is around. The 9 truck is around. The 9 truck is a caution. The 32 truck is stopped in the middle, has held the brakes, has bounced off the wall. We just said, look at that clean truck, but I'm afraid it's no more. And the 32 got a little bit loose off, and that was all it took.
So you saw him going 3 wide as they went in 3. A little contact from the 9. Encouraged that truck to go up the track. The 9 truck did not make it out of there either. And we are right back under caution as we've been for a majority of this race so far today.
Yeah, 9 truck is asking if he helped the situation at all. It was tough because, you know, you go through, and if you're any of the trucks behind these guys to see that 32 truck, and maybe we can get an onboard with those guys. You see that 32 truck dive down to the inside and bounce off that wall, and you really don't know how far back he's going to come on. And that can be one of the most stressful parts of the whole race.
So we're on board with the 32 here, taking a look at that incident. You see the truck looks a little tight. It gets loose off the corner. Not quite sure if he was helped or not from that view. The 9, you see him just trying to run his race. Does look like a little door action right there. And that's what you're going to get here at a short track. Little contact like that. Brings out another yellow as we continue to turn laps behind a pace car today.
Well, that's correct. The record for cautions was set in at 19 in 2005, and I think we are pushing that envelope here today.
This is our 10th caution of the race. 47 caution laps, going on 48 here. We've had 5 lead changes now, mostly due to those wrecks that we saw. But yeah, we are getting close to that record. Don't think we'll quite hit it, but we're definitely going to make a push for it.
Yeah, never say never. I mean, these guys are working hard. The leaders are running pretty clean, but no one is perfect. You know, we just saw another caution come out of the top 5. So it is interesting, and I'll tell you what, we got 12 cars still on the lead lap, and any one of those 12 cars can come out a winner.
So you see our updated top 5 right here for you to catch you up on how the race is going. Dylan Alt is going to be in first. He's got his teammate, this Proximity Racing teammate, Chase Bonzer in second. John Houston, who we saw earlier, is in third. Aaron Mulrooney Jr. has made his return to the top 5. He is in fourth. And who you just heard from, the 8 truck of Zentech, is in 5th. 2x2 as they stack it up, and we get ready to go green once again here at Martinsville. The field getting smaller and smaller by each restart, and we get ready to go green. 12 trucks on the lead lap, and the 42 leads in the line. Here we go, back in a green. 81 loose off the restart.
Well, they both tried it. You saw your leader, Dylan Alt, dive down right before he hit the gas because he knew what he was doing, and the 81 tried to do the same and react. Got on the gas a little bit too soon. You saw that back end step out. Now he's fighting to hang on to second place, and there's going to be a hole there. And I think the 2 is going to find his way through. Mulrooney is going to do his best to get by his Proximity teammate.
Caution back out.
Yeah,
That's
I'll tell you
Robert
what.
Melican getting spun. And it looks like he had help. You see it right there on the replay, the 92 coming off the wall and getting into him. One more look at it here. Just not enough space on this track. And that is going to be an unfortunate way to be involved in that one.
Well, that is, it's you can look at it here, and I'm watching behind the 18. I'm going to call a little bit of net code because the 9 helped the 18 around, hit him twice, and the 18 actually had it set up, but 92 and the 18 got through, and yep, that was a caution was all it took, and coming off the corner.
So we're riding along with Melican off of the restart here as he heads back into 3 and 4. Little loose, and he gets into the 92. We didn't see that before, as the 9 truck might have had a little hand in that. We're going to have to go back and check that out. You're riding along with Derek Winter in the 9 now as he looks low in the 18. Does get into him a little bit. And that kind of encouraged that whole scenario between all the trucks right there. We are back under caution.
Yeah, that's tough, and they're racing for position, so you would expect something like that, but they're going through, and you're on the outside. You have a straight shot down the straightaway, and so yeah, the other guy's going to get to the exit a little bit sooner, but that guy on the outside is going to have so much more speed, and that's what we saw in the 92, and he didn't have a clear road to go.
So back under caution, our 11th of the day. Dylan Alt continuing to lead this one, but John Houston's going to give him all he can there in second place. And Mark Love back there in 5th in the 43 truck. We saw him involved in a couple incidents very early in this race, and he has really battled back here. This truck's probably got a little bit of damage on it, but that's a good Martinsville truck for you.
Yeah, that's tough. As we get closer and closer to the end, one of these guys is going to take a clock home, and it's going to be interesting to see how they handle the top 6. Who can control their tires the best? And right now, I don't even know what my strategy is. If I'm in one of these trucks and I expect a caution, every 5 laps, I'm racing as hard as I can at the green flag drop, and that's going to bring out another caution sooner. So you're in kind of a cycle that it's really tough to break out of if you're any one of these guys.
Absolutely, and as we see these laps wind down, we got to start thinking about tires, track position. Are all these trucks just going to stay out? Are trucks behind them going to start taking tires and trying to catch them? And then our guys going to start being too racy because of that.
Wow, that is correct, and we'll have some different tire strategies as we get to the end here, but we're about to rack them and stack them and turn them loose in 4.
Here we go. Pace car is off. Dylan Alt leading him to the line. The 042 just getting down on his door right there, trying to hang with him. Drives him low. The 2 truck into the 042, into the 81, and we have a caution off the restart.
What a way to do it, and what did we just talk about? The cautions breed caution, and the gamesmanship was too much. Just stressful, honestly, and these guys know. They're up front. They know how to win races, and you got to ask yourself, what are these guys doing? How can you get to the end like this?
You see riding along right there, it's a quick turn, and the restarts have bred chaos, just like Josh just said, and we're in for a treat because this race isn't going to get started until we get another restart.
No, it is, and the 81 is really the victim there. I don't know what happened with Houston, but he did not get going, and the 2 did. And keep in mind that the top 4 trucks are proximity gaming trucks minus P2, and so you got to imagine that they're in voice chat and they're talking to each other when they're going to go. And the whole team went. Unfortunately, the road was not clear for Mulrooney Jr.
So 81 is going to head it back down pit road. Looks like he is going to stay in the lead lap if he can get out of pit road in time. Not quite sure if he will or not. as we check, and it looks like he is going to stay in the lead lap. So we could see Bonzer battle back later in this race. Looking at the truck right now, it seems to be that it's in a pretty good condition, all things considered. He did slap that inside retaining wall, but he did so at a relatively low speed. So he might be A-okay for the rest of the way.
That is my thought exactly. The bad news is he plopped that radiator. The good news is he did it at about 2 miles an hour. So hopefully they can brush it off and put him back out there.
So a quick question from the chat. Axel earlier wanted to know why they're restarting so high. So I'm going to turn that one to you.
Well, we covered that a little bit earlier in the race, and they do want to start high because they want to approach the straightaway as straight as they can. That's going to help these trucks accelerate. They do not have differentials. They have a spool. So the two rear tires are going to go straight when you get on that gas, or you may spin the truck. So that's why they're trying to start high. They're basically extending back that front straightaway. That's why they start up so high.
So excellent analysis right there. That is my co-host, Joshua Crane. He's also on Twitch at No Farb Racing. So feel free to check him out. So we are going to be 2 to green here as we are on lap 133 out of 150. We've had quite a race so far. A bunch of cautions, a lot of spins, a couple lead changes, and we have not seen the end of it for sure.
No, we haven't, and we are coming to 15 to go in regulation, and I don't know how many green-white checkers have, but we are going to use them all here at Martinsville.
So we go stacking it back up 2 by 2 by 2. You see the 9 truck of Derek Winter. He was involved in a wreck earlier. He's up there. A lot of trucks who've been involved in wrecks up there towards the front. This could play a little role as we get back under green. Pace car's off. Field's heading into 3. Getting ready to go back green. The 042 hugging that 42. 8 of Zentek gets held up by the 042, and he's going to get turned around.
Oh, and what an absolute tragedy. That is 2 in a row that we've had trouble starting.
And it looks like Zentek just... We talked about it. Your wheels are going straight. Your truck is. And the 2 gets into him after the fact. That's Mulroney Jr. Might have a little damage to the front end of his truck now because of that. Zentek, who restarted 5th on that restart, is going to get pushed all the way back to the back and have to go to pit road to service that truck.
Yeah, that's correct. And I don't know if Mulroney saw what everyone else was seeing. In fact, he got loose. Mulroney, I don't think, could get over quick enough. He was loose off the 4 just as the 8 truck was. And race control now giving the command, calm down, guys. We still got some time left.
So we talked about the track record for cautions. It's 19. We're at our 13th of the day. So 19 might be pushing it, but we are cutting it close. 63 laps of the 137 have been under caution. So we'll see if we can get a green flag run to the win, or if we're going to get more of the same.
Yeah, that's tough. And I'll tell you what, as boy, if I had known this at the beginning, I would have pitted at about lap 120 or so and just gone green to the end. And then when these guys come up, I would try to stay out. I would be up front. And I mean, we're talking about points, and I would stay right up front. I wouldn't even pit again.
Should be an interesting strategy as we head toward the end. I believe none of the leaders actually went down pit road there. The car on the newest tires is going to be Dylan Alt. He's in the lead. He pitted going to be 4 laps ago now. Mark Love in the 43 also pitted 4 laps ago as they hit the stripe. And it looks like the 30 of Dominic Howe stayed out. He pitted 12 laps ago.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, we discussed the point standings a little bit, and we're going to shake them up here because your points leader, Mulroney Jr., rides 12th, and Lucas Cram hasn't shown up tonight. Josh Zentek is your first truck 2 laps down. He's in 13th. Chase Bonzer, we mentioned him a little bit. He's up to 7th. He's 5th in points right now. So those guys are going to shake around a little bit. Rabiati may fall out of those top 10, or that top 5 in points.
So Rabiati with the win last week and now falling out of the top 5 in points, most likely after this race. You got to wonder if that's on the mind of the team owner, the inconsistency we've seen from Adi. As that might be something to keep in mind as races go on throughout the season, is Adi's more or less luck with getting involved in wrecks.
Well, we've seen that, and Ayrton Senna had a policy that was he would either win or he would either crash. And we saw how that worked out for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. earlier this season. Obviously, he favored the latter a little bit more, but you do have to wonder after some of these races, how long is the leash?
So here we go. Field stacked back up once again. We're going to be 8 to go when we hit the stripe here. 42 and the 042. Door to door heading into 3. And there goes the 42. Off again. 43 with a great restart as well. It's Mark Love.
Yeah, and that 42 truck had to wait. He's going to get a bad restart. He's going to hold up that 9 truck. And the rest of these guys are going to go 3 wide. That 42 is still wide. He's going to get off the corner. And William Downham in the 92 is going to be below him. And he's going to try to slide by. I don't know if he can do it. He's going to be tight off the corner. He's got a lift, and everybody gets sorted out.
Still a big battle right there between the 81, the 7, the 9, and the 042, all battling for third.
That is correct, and they're going to head down into 3 here, and you're going to see the 7 drive a little bit hard. He's going to get in deeper, but he's going to slide up. That's going to let the 9 truck by, and the 42 of Houston is going to be door to door as they go down into 1.
Houston on the inside, trying to make the pass of DiMaggio right there, and it looks like he's going to complete it. 7 truck dropping back, a little bit of damage on that rear spoiler. Gotta wonder if that's playing a factor. Looks like he's tight off of 3 and 4.
It is, and we're now coming down to the conclusion. Inside of 5 laps to go, we're looking at the 42 of Alt. The 43 of Love hasn't been in this position all race, but he is now, and that's what matters.
Coming into 3 and 4, Alt and Love, 1 and 2 as they come off of 4. It's the 42 and the 43. Gonna battle it out for the win here at Martinsville. Chase Bonzer back there trying to look at, he's on the outside looking in as we struggle to find words right there. 5 to go, 4 to go as they hit the stripe.
That is, and the 42 is smooth sailing now. And we're going to look back. I don't think the 43 has anything for these guys. The 43, this is his first turn up front all night. Dylan Alt, no stranger to being up here. I say that, the 42 gets tight, and the 43's got to run, and he's going to put the block on him. Going into turn 3, or they touch. And they're going down in there. 42's going to stop. He's going to give him another bump. Love off of the turn, and real tight coming to the line.
3 to go as they hit the stripe here. Driving it in deep is Love, trying to stay on the bumper. The 42 is riding along with him. Tight! Or, I'm sorry, loose off of 2. And the 42 is going to pull away.
Loose off of 2, and that might be all that Dylan Alt needed now. He's just got to be calm. And that 81 sees the 43, and he is excited about that. Chase Bonzer would love to put it 1-2 with his teammate at the end of this long day.
Coming off of 2, Alt still holding a lead by about 5 car lengths on the 43 of Love. Bonzer closing in on Love. And Alt would like nothing better than to see them battle for second.
He would, and they're going to go back into turn 3 here. Love trying to close that gap, but nothing doing. The 81 is working on Love, and I think at this point he may be content to hang out. And they are coming to the white flag. Oh, the 81 is going to put a little move on Love.
Here we go, checkered flag in the air. Alt crosses the line. He is going to be first. Love hangs on to second. Bonzer picks third. What a finish there. As the battle for second really raged on. But ultimately, it's
hard.
Dylan Alt in the 42 truck that's going to hang on and take this one.
Yeah, that was tough, and he's going to go. The front stretch here at Martinsville is the victory lane. There is no official victory lane at Martinsville.
So Dylan Alt is your race winner as we see him burning it down here at Martinsville. We'll be right back with an interview from your race winner, Dylan Alt, who led 52 laps on the day and was definitely grateful for that wreck of Audi earlier in the race. We'll be right back.
Okay, we're going to keep this quick.
Because at Blaze Pizza,
artisanal quality at crazy fast speed is what we're all about.
Fresh dough made from scratch daily.
Walk the line and choose any toppings you'd like.
It's all one price.
Then it's just 180 seconds in our blazing hot oven
for fast bar perfection.
That's Blaze Pizza. Sound good?
Then come check us out and build your own pizza at Blaze Pizza.
All right, Mark, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Alrighty, so we saw you racing there pretty hard at the end with Alt. Can you take us through mainly that move that you pulled that didn't end up working out for you when you got loose coming off of 2?
Basically, I was just trying to get as low as possible to get under him, and I just got a little bit too close to that curve, and it just almost sent me around. Lucky to save it coming off 2.
What did the brake bias do for you during this race? Were drivers playing with that at all?
I actually left mine alone. I tried it out in practice, and then I just didn't like the way the truck was driving, so I just reset it back to the default brake bias.
Yeah, there you go. What was the key to staying clean, staying out of trouble tonight? You were in the right place at the right time, you know?
It was basically pure luck this whole race. I could name about 8 cautions that I should have been involved in, but I was just lucky enough to get around them.
All right, well, thank you for your time, and congrats on the second place win. That's a pretty good finish right there.
Thank you.
All right, so that was Mark Love. He finishes second place after starting in the 25th position. That is a great run by him. And let's get our third place finisher, the 81 of Boneser, here in the booth. Chase, this is Jarrett and Josh in the booth. You got a copy?
Copy.
All right, so we saw you racing pretty hard with the 43 there at the end. Did you think you had him coming to the line?
Oh, no, I was way too tired at the end. I couldn't really do anything, so I was just scrambling.
How were these trucks wearing through the race? Were they tight at the end of a long run? We didn't have a lot of green flag runs.
They were kind of evenly, but it was a little loose off the corners on the long run and tight in.
Yeah, so we saw, speaking of loose, we saw a lot of trucks get loose on the restarts. Can you talk to us about the restarts? What did you think of them? Did you agree with how they were run at the start? How was that?
The restarts were a little awkward because you're restarting in the middle of a turn, so if you get on the gas a little too much, you get pretty loose.
How was it a couple of those restarts being able to be around your teammates? Was there any team camaraderie there towards the end?
Oh yeah, there's definitely some communication going on there. The leader would count down for us and give us a good start. Try to get single file there, but
yeah, absolutely. Well, a great finish by the Proximity Racing team, so something to be proud of. And taking home a third place finish is nothing to snub your nose at. So I'm expecting a couple more top 5s from you, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, congratulations. And of the top 5 points, guys, I think you finished the best in this race, so congratulations.
yeah, thank you.
All right, so we heard from the 81 of Bonza right there. Really good race by him. And now let's bring in our leader, or race winner, the 42 of Dylan Alt. Dylan, you got a copy?
Yep.
First of all, congrats on the win, buddy. Talk to us those last couple laps when you saw 43 starting to fill up your mirror.
Oh my gosh, dude. So, yeah, I don't remember when we pitted last, but yeah, I just had that, like, my plan was to just stay out the whole entire run. It sucked that it was caution the whole time because I had to go to the bathroom ever since lap 10. But so I think was I don't know if Mark was on newer tires, but I was so tight off of turn 2 most of the time. But most of the time off the exits of the corners, I was almost about to hit the wall. So I just had to stay right in front of him. I had to slam on the brakes entering the corner so he can hit me because I knew he was going to send in the corner. And so I wouldn't get loose or anything. But yeah, somehow kept it with the lead and won the race.
Yeah, that's good. That's definitely the strategy. I guess, how did your strategy change throughout the race? There were a couple fast guys and a lot of accidents and a big shakeup in the standings several times. I mean, was your strategy to run clean? Were you trying to stay up in front of the mess?
So I just did the same thing I did in Roto Pro. Just qualify up front, stay up front, and you'll survive in the race. Just pit when the whole entire field pits, or just never pit on those really like short runs, because you do not want to be in the back of the pack where all the
Yeah, absolutely. We did see a bunch of wrecks back at the back in the restarts. So were the restarts tricky for you, or were you kind of able to figure them out with your teammates up there? We asked your teammate Chase a little bit about them, and he said you guys were all in cahoots about it. So I'm curious where it was from your angle.
So yeah, Robbiati, he was running up the track just like some kind of dirt race. So like they run up the track from the high banking and then get a run off the corner. So he was kind of doing like that, and it was a good restart every single time because they would all single file out and it would not be like a shuffle in turn 1. So I kind of wanted to do that same thing, but I had to start in the middle because John was kind of forcing me down to in the middle. So, and yeah, I couldn't really do anything there, but somehow I would still come out with a huge lead up front. But sometimes I think I was the cause of some kind of those wrecks up front of people spinning themselves out, but I think it's just the restart and people's like spinning their tires and not getting the restart right.
Well, those restarts are tough, and we did have some talk in chat about some of that strategy, starting high and getting a run off the corner. There were several restarts where you guys were door to door, but it looks like you came out on the winning side of things.
Yeah.
So anything you want to say, or anyone you want to thank before we get on out of here?
Just proximity racing. It was a great race, and you guys for broadcasting this, and Matthew and everyone else for hosting this league. And it's a pretty fun league. Actually, pretty clean too.
Absolutely. Well, congrats on the win once again, and I look forward to next week.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go. Have a good one.
Alrighty, so as we wrap this one up from here at Martinsville, what were your overall takes on the race there?
Well, I'll tell you what, that was it was a longer one. There were some more cautions, probably than I anticipated. We didn't get as much rubber on the track due to that. It was a little bit tough on how that all worked out. But I was more surprised maybe at the leaders, especially Adi up front, Mulrooney Jr. Some of those guys that spent all day up front were not there at the end, and that was pretty surprising. Libby too, Ryan Libby, great story. Who came up, started in the back and came up and ran up front for a while, and then just on the wrong side of things, had nowhere to go when the came out of turn 4, facing that 12 truck. So. Not much you can do there.
Yeah, we did see a lot of wrecks where it was just wrong place, wrong time for a lot of guys, especially towards the front when we saw Adi get into one and we saw, like you said, Libby get into one. Dominic Howe, he looked like he could challenge at one point, gets collected in a wreck. So it was kind of a toss-up there for a little bit. We didn't end up seeing any kind of tire action. So I'm interested to see if we see that in the Xfinity and the Cup races, because especially the Cup race with the high downforce cars, you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, and that can be tough. And I wonder if you're right on point with, this is an indication if the Xfinity guys tomorrow, especially since those cars can be a little squirrely, if they don't bide their time, then we may see another race, and it's even longer tomorrow night. And it'll be tough. But the Cup race, certainly, same thing. I think those guys will be able to get around a little more. I think we'll see a little bit more rubber put down on that track.
Absolutely. So I think that's going to do it for us here at the Norse Force Invader Series, Martinsville 80. So quickly before we go, thank you to everyone in the chat that participated for most of the night. You guys are awesome. Especially thank you to the Real DQ44 for subscribing Tier 1 7 months in a row. Thank you very much, sir. And thank you to BCal for the 100 bits. He said, great duo commentary. So I'm hoping this is something we can do again, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Anyone else that was in the chat? I know we saw J Ghost at one point and Av Crakey. Thank you guys for hanging out with us as well. Anyone watching this back after the fact, 2 thumbs up for you. You guys are awesome. And I hope you guys enjoyed. We definitely enjoyed bringing you this one. I know I did at least. I can't say the same about Josh, but I have a feeling he did too.
I absolutely did. It's a pleasure to be up in the booth for a change of pace, and I definitely look forward to the next time I get this chance.
All right, so we're going to take one more look at the final results. Your winner is the 42 truck of Dylan Alt, followed by the 43 of Mark Love. In third is Chase Bonzer. In fourth is Derek Winter. Fifth is the 042 of John Houston. And sixth was Michael DiMaggio. Seventh is Aaron Mulrooney Jr. We saw him climb back toward the front after a couple accidents. And eighth is Robert Melican. We saw him involved in an accident as well. Ninth was Dominic Howe. And 10th was William Downen, who we hadn't called all race, but managed to climb back up to the 10th position.
He did, and David Ketchum is going to bring you 11th place. Chris Kynes is going to bring you 12th place, the last car on the lead lap. Samuel Williams, Joshua Schofield, and Josh Zentek finish out the top 15, and that will shift up points. Justin Walters, 16th, 17th was just John Robert Mesterson. Joshua Stiles, 18th, 19th was Robbie Oddie, and 20th, Ryan Libby. Those two involved in that mid-race restart accident. Mark Stryker, 21st. Tyler Davis, 22nd. Andrew Rattel in 23rd, and 24th and 25th. Alex Vasilio and Skylar Carnes will bring up the rear of the field.
So that is going to do it for our broadcast here today. Oh, not quite yet. Dylan Alt, fresh off his victory, is going to give us a follow. Thank you, Dylan, very much. Appreciate it, buddy. But like we were saying, that is going to do it from here at Martinsville. Any last words from you, Josh?
No, I think we've learned a good lesson. It'll be exciting to see what happens later this week. Norse Force Xfinity tomorrow night, and we have the Cup guys coming to town on Wednesday night.
So be sure to check out both those broadcasts. You can check the Cup guys out at V-Speed, and then the Xfinity guys, the Berserker Series, they will be on KMN Motorsports. That is on YouTube, and V-Speed is V-Speed Sim on Twitch. That is the Valhalla Series on a Wednesday night. So from us over here at the Invader Series, I'm Jared Hader, and with my partner Josh Crane, we are signing off for tonight. And have a good one, everybody, and we will see you next week. Until then, take it easy and peace.